It's like the Amazon delivery people know exactly when I'm about to go live, which is pretty funny. Yeah, if you are in chat, let me know if you can hear me. Just trying to get myself situated here. Got my AC running. I'm going to turn that off in a moment. Let me just mute this and double check if my audio is coming through okay. All right. Sounding good. All right. We are back. Happy Sunday, everybody. For those who saw the thumbnail, I'm an idiot. Because, well, okay, so I did a couple of little changes. So the first thing you might notice is if you check the overhead camera, you're going to watch the full transition. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, I guess we're doing that. I got to switch that. When it's done, it is done. So we'll switch that back. You'll notice this gray felt mat. And I got that for a reason. And I also have, if I can get this to work, a side profile. Now I'm actually showing the side profile this week because I jankily, and I mean like super jank, I put a blanket up here, like a sound blanket. I have noise reduction turned off. So, turned on, but all that gets rid of is the hiss, but the reverb fix, that's completely disabled. So that should be nice and dampened, which is what we want. All in an effort to make the audio sound good in here. Going through the Tascam FR-AV4, which I am hoping is actually enabled, because if it's not, it's enabled. So that's what we're running right now. Again, the only voice isolation plugin that's running is just a denoiser to get rid of hiss, which is probably coming from, to be honest, there's a computer in the corner there, which actually have to move at some point. Haven't gotten around to it yet. That and one of those NIC Giga switches in a room across the room, which I could have probably just closed the door, but I wasn't thinking, so we're gonna just forget that. Anyway, let's talk content creation. Let's talk tech. Let's talk whatever it is we want to talk about. And and like every week, if you haven't been on the stream before, if it doesn't get super crazy in here, then I will probably end the stream early, but it doesn't seem that way because Simulator Adventures is already in with hello. Hello, Simulator. Happy Sunday. How does my audio sound? I have my reverb plugin, or de-reverb, I should say, that is turned off. Also, I should still be in sync. I moved the Tascam to my Wavelength Thunderbolt dock. Okay, beautiful. All right, awesome. So we're running the Tascam through the Wavelength through a 10 gig USB-C input that's on the front. And yeah, I did that because I was getting, it sounds a bit bassier today, but in a good way. Well, so that, I can understand that. Probably my mic position, because I did take the mic down. I was doing some experiments. Thus, all of the stuff that is on my overhead table. So here's some XLRs. One is a 90-degree, and then these are just like, what are these, like 2-foot cables, 3-foot cables? Yeah, 3-foot cables. I also have a side camera going now, so I have this one. And I think maybe the bassier bit is because I put down the felt mat, which you're seeing right here, right? So this felt mat. And then also the blanket over here is because I got this big honking wall. I'm not too worried about like, where's my hand? There it is. I'm not so worried about like this part of the wall because my voice is going this way and it's like all open space over here. Unless it's reflecting off the monitor. Well, to be honest, there's really nothing I can do about that. But, yeah, I've been experimenting to try to eliminate using a lot of plugins because I want the sound to be like super good. Still running that that Tascam plugin. So if I were to hit my Stream Deck pedal, or my Elgato pedal, if I hit it like that, You'll see it'll set a marker, which was perfect, and do it with no hands this time. See? Which is cool because then I can mark my points, and then we can do the fun take thing like I was showing last week. I also updated the app. I've renamed it to Tech Mixer Toolbox. I've added a couple of little small things to it. I was having some problems with Gemini, so I actually ended up going back to OpenAI, ChatGPT, the new Thinking 5.5 model. And I gave it the code and I said, hey, like, can we fix a couple of things? And I didn't even have to prompt it so much. It just did it. Again, I only have the Gemini Pro because I get YouTube Premium at a discount with it. But it is hilariously hallucinating. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, simulator. I'll leave it up to you, seeing as you're the sole chatter at the moment. What do you want to talk about? What is new and exciting in your world with your channel and such? I saw on your Discord you had like a contest going. I didn't get to read too deep into it. Like, work has been insane. I kind of browsed Discord some mornings and I saw you had stuff going on. So I was just curious about that. I figured I'd ask you on stream. You know. Yeah. What else? So, okay, yeah. Let me explain what's happening here. So the weather got better, and I want to learn so much about like camera stuff in terms of like shooting, good white balance, that kind of stuff. And I shoot in ProRes RAW, which is like insanely overkill in a studio. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not gonna buy like, you know, the whole camera shoulder thing, the vlog, but I'm like, maybe I could like go out while the weather's nice and set up like this elaborate like setup with my Shogun Ultra and my S5 Mark II with an 18mm and an ND filter. And I just realized that's why my exposure is so messed up, because I have a stupid ND on this lens from when I was trying to mess around outside. So we're going to take you off, and oh yeah, I am way overexposed. So the good thing is, I'm going to switch back so I don't blind everybody. Let me, let's fix the ISO. Okay, so that's auto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that might look marginally better, although my autofocus seems like it's tripping out. Let's see. Yeah, that looks marginally better. I feel like that looks better. What do you think? Does that look better for my side angle now that the ND is not in the way? The things you do to rush a setup. Anyway, that rig on this side, it's actually like a kind of a stronger selfie stick with a newer ball head with my S5 II and a cage on it, with the small rig adapter going to the monitor. And on the top of the monitor, it's going to get this, this mount. And then the Tascam, because it has a quarter 20 on the bottom, I'm going to throw this quarter on the bottom, on part of the cage on the other side, run a 3-inch or a 3-foot XLR cable. And I'm going to use the Shogun Ultra's RAW capability to learn the proper, oh, it's all good. Simulator, you're good. Just said you were sorry, you were getting a drink, but could hear the stream with headphones. Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, I'm gonna learn the raw values. So you had a contest. It was fun, but it had its complexities. So break it down. What happened? People were complaining about the winners as usual. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I don't think I'm big enough yet to be holding contests and all that. Well, I just start making some money on this channel, and I also have this thing where I like to obsess over like, you know, how good the quality is, like how much I guess like how efficient I can get and how quick I can pump out videos in good quality. But I tend to go down wormholes like, you know, time code, mic placement, blankets, like that kind of stuff. I'm glad if the audio sounds good, then I'm money. And Simulator says, I don't pick a random number. I select the ones I then let my moderators vote on their favorites. Yeah, that's probably the best way. That keeps you out of the bias. It just sucks if any of your moderators happen to be biased. If that makes any sense. I'm sipping on the end of this coffee because I'm coming up to that time where I should stop drinking coffee. Yeah. Okay, well, that's pretty dope. What'd you end up giving away? Like I said, I didn't get a chance to really check the stream too tough. I just want to, while I'm here, I'm going to stand up for a minute because I got to check something on my camera. Okay, so that's working. Cool. Yeah, I'm wondering what you gave away. 1 month Discord Nitro or an equivalent value Steam game. Oh, that's dope. Okay. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, I tried Nitro for a little bit. It wasn't too bad. They chose a Steam game. Okay, what'd they end up choosing? Which game did they end up going with? I don't know why my autofocus on that camera is tripping out. Whatever. Yeah. If it doesn't get like super crazy or if our conversation kind of lulls out, then I might end in 45 minutes, so about an hour. AV assembly looks interesting. Okay, cool. Cool. It's not like you gave away a car or anything, that, then you'd have to be very careful about your moderators having a bias. Nope, $10 max value. Okay, that makes sense. Fair enough. Yeah. So I'm assuming since the toiling with EDID and all that stuff that your HDMI situation and your Elgato situation is now worked out for the better. I'm gonna guess. That's dope. So, okay. I gotta check out like the actual channel. I haven't watched a lot of YouTube lately, to be honest. Outside of like letting Curtis Judd play while like I'm doing things around the house, but like just so I could learn more about like proper audio processing treatment, that kind of stuff. That's all fine. It definitely fixes a lot of issues. Dope. Very cool. I want to see, do I have, I think I put an EQ on this. Yeah, this EQ is not great. My highs are really high. I'm going to bring that back, actually. Okay, so hopefully I sound good and not nearly as sharp as I was sounding, or as bright as it was sounding. Simulator says, I have to be honest though, this week I decided to get a full-time job again, or at least a part-time job, not doing YouTube. I have reasons, but it's a bit complex. It's very similar, and again, I can't really speak to I won't ask you to speak about that publicly because, obvious reasons. It's kind of similar to my situation where like I don't put out, like I have a job and that takes up a lot of my time, but then I have other commitments that I mentioned either last stream or the stream prior. That keeps me like really, really busy. So I don't get to do as much content as I like to, including the video I keep saying I'm going to get done. It just hasn't gotten done yet because like I've shot it, I've re-edited, I've watched it, and then like I give myself the retention test. So like, for example, I've got things on the desk here that like I want to open and like apply to certain things. But what I'll do is I'll throw my video on and see how long I can keep my attention. And if I find myself spacing out, that it's like, yeah, I got to go back and change stuff. So, the reason I want this video to be really good is because it's something nobody else has really talked about. And I just think that it would be in the it wouldn't be in my best interest to slack on that video. Plus, like, there were some other potential huge revenue things that could have came because of that video in a way that's not traditional YouTube. It was really funny. And you said, well, it's not the money or the growth. It's just this lifestyle isn't working for me. YouTube requires your full attention nearly all day, and I feel other aspects of my life have suffered. All my friends are moving on with their lives, and while I'm sat behind desk chasing numbers. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I also, even with all the busyness I have, I also want life balance, which is a major struggle, even without doing YouTube. And it's like I spend like 50 hours a week in a video editor or some kind of editor for my contract gig. And then my pastime is, oh man, saying it's making me yawn. That's hilarious. But yeah, then my pastime is sitting in an editor, which is like awful. So I can understand that side of it too. Like that's definitely not great. And that's kind of the problem. Like, and then I think what makes it worse is like YouTube will change things. Like they'll change how they prioritize traffic, like in terms of browse traffic, in terms of like CTR and who gets pushed and what the requirements are, and then like average view duration, what matters, what doesn't matter. Or they just kill off a channel. Like I do get my videos showing up in, I'm guessing, search traffic, or at least browse traffic for people that are interested in my niche. But like a lot of it is the Bell Fiber to the Home stuff. That's why you'll see during the stream, like people will come in and be like, hey, I got the Unify Cloud whatever, or a UDM Pro or whatever. And then they're like asking me questions about that, because those videos seem to do really well on the channel. But like I don't want my whole channel to be about that stuff. Some of the biggest creators in my space only post once or twice a month. Yes, they are very well edited and high effort, but I can make this work as a hobby again. Absolutely. I think just based on what I saw from your channel, you look really polished already. And I think sometimes it's just the human element, you know, like absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know, one thing, like in my personal life, my personal social media, I don't push Tech Mixer at all. Kind of by design, because like a lot of the people who are in my personal life aren't super into tech. So I'm not gonna, like, the problem is like, bless people's hearts. Like they'll be like, oh, I want to support you. And then they'll go to watch something and not understand a word that's going on. And then they leave and it kills my AVD and it actually hurts the channel, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I find live streaming isn't worth it. My audience doesn't really engage. Whoops, what happened here? Doesn't engage with them, and it introduces more problems than benefits. That's only for me though. I know live streams can be successful and worth it. Let me be completely transparent about why I'm live streaming. I want the supers. No, I'm kidding. I'm live streaming because I know that I haven't had the time to commit to like finish videos that I want to finish, but I want to keep the channel alive. So I figured one of the pillars for my channel is I want to bring value. Like that's very important to me. Like, you know, helping you with things like your HDMI issues with the Elgato, or like, I think like about a couple months ago, someone came in and they were like, they were going to buy like a Canon 5D Mark II. I'm messing up that model most likely. But anyway, they were going to buy this camera and all this stuff. But like, the problem for me was I was like, well, wait, do you know how to do lighting? Because, and then I did like a shot with my iPhone and I was like, hey, like, this looks really good, and it's not even the latest iPhone, and it's not even the rear camera. So like, learn lighting first. And then, you know, I wasn't expecting it, but homeboy tipped me $50, and I was like, all right, not mad at that. Yeah, for real, I'm probably gonna schedule a daily community post to keep the channel alive. Yeah, that's a smart way to go about it. You know, engage your, like, if you can build engagement, I mean, that's super important, right? Like, if you build engagement on your channel, that's good enough to keep it alive per se. I also, like, I'm a proponent of that, like, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at a YouTuber in my space right now. He has 16,000 subs and is doing a fun stream with overlays and stuff better than mine. He has only 10 viewers, so he must be doing it for himself. Yeah, and you know what? That's the thing is, like, on one side, okay, like for me, I do the streams for whoever wants to jump in and talk. But also it's like, I do this thing, and maybe it's my toxic trait in the creator space, but like, I do this thing where like, I want to see, can I pull this off? You know, and like ultimately having separate audio synced up, getting raw out of my HDMI monitor with a LUT burned in from the monitor over to my capture card with a separate audio interface and keeping it all in sync, and being able to like switch scenes like all around. There's my iPad, have my side camera, which should also be in sync. That's not a 4K capture card. That is so blown out because I didn't expose it properly, but moving on. But just having the idea, just like being able to do it is the big thing for me. Like that's the fun for me. As long as it's fun, then it's worth it. But for me, the lifestyle drags me down even if you, I'm assuming if you mean, even if you love content creation. Yeah, I love content creation. I'm tired, man. God, I just said that. I should just name the next stream Yawn Stream, and it's just me with a sleeping bag, just like, just KO'd. I get it. Like, there's a love for it, but it can be a grind. I think that's the big problem with following your passion of sorts, because like I am passionate about like content creation. I'm learning, and I don't think I'll ever stop learning. Like I could be Gerald Undone levels of like video perfection, and yet I'll still be like, I don't know everything. Like I have no idea. That's not to say he doesn't know everything. I've met him once, but like I don't know to what degree he knows. He knows a ton more than I do, but I think if I ever got to his level, I'd still just try to stay learning. But the problem with following your passion is like it can get exhausting. Like the guy I contract to, he runs this business, but he's working today. He works 7 days a week. And like he balances, like, I'll take over for the site that we work on, and he'll go do his thing, do the things like he'll go and play hockey, he'll, you know what I mean, like he'll go for walks, he'll do all sorts of stuff, and that's cool. And it breaks it up, but like, working 7 days like that, I mean, I get it when it's your passion. I take 1 day off. Like I love the site that I work for, and I love like the aspects of the job. There are things about the job. I think any job has this problem where there's things you don't like. But I mean, when you follow your passion, like at some point, you gotta you'll really test yourself to figure out if you love your passion, if you do it in a full-time capacity, and then make a decision as to whether or not it's something you want to sustain long-term. How long have you been, I may have asked you this before, but like my memory has been not great as of late. Probably stress related, but how long have you been doing the channel, Simulator? I'm curious. Very curious. By the way, I love talking to other creators because like just to get insights. Also, like I have this other problem where I like to buy plugins and stuff like that for like future ideas. And then I have to be careful. Like I have to make notes about that stuff because like, and I've done it where like I work on something and I'm like, I bought a plugin to do this really easily, and then I have to go back in my notes. Sorry, I just got some weird static noise on my headphones. You know what? I have earbuds. Oh, military health. Okay, so you got interference. Okay, so I'm assuming those are wireless Bluetooth or some kind of wireless protocol headphones. Yeah. That scared me a little because what you don't know is I'm feeding time code to 3 devices right now, and that noise is awful. And I'm like, please tell me that didn't bleed through. It shouldn't, because the Tascam is the one handling it, but computers will do computer things. So I quit my job exactly 2 years ago, moved to full-time, but I started as a hobby in 2018. Okay, so okay. So you got to witness the pandemic explosion. That's fair. Well, it's dope that you can live off it. That's awesome. I just like, to me, I don't know. It'd be nice to make like some livable money off it. It'd be really nice to make like, never have to work, not to make any bones about my current employment position with my contract, because I love that gig, but like if I didn't have to rely on it so heavily, and that's not, again, not a dig, But it'd be cool if I could make like, $100,000 a year off YouTube. That'd be crazy. Yeah, the pandemic was the only reason I started regular videos. Yeah, because you had already built up 2 years before, or at least a year and some before the pandemic really kicked off. So like, you were like, all right, it's grind time because we can't go anywhere. So you doubled down, which, I wanted to start back in like, it's around the same time, 2018. I actually bought this like huge YouTuber-esque desk. I keep thinking if I earned the big bucks, I probably wouldn't be much happier. Yeah, and that's the thing. I need to be able to switch off. Your own nation. Hey, how you doing, man? You have the production value and passion. You just need 1 or 2 videos to blow up. No, I need like every video to blow up. That's just because I'm a perfectionist. Yeah, and I need to like just like finish this one video. This happens to me. Like I'll like in March, like I was like video. Like I was cranking them out. And then I get stuck on one because like it's very different. Yeah. Hey Duke, you're in. What up? The trick is compound interest, 100%. Simulator, I thought about that. I know it's cliche, but you could do tech news shorts. I thought about it. If I'm being honest, can I be completely real why I haven't? Because every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, TechLinked puts out a video. And I'm a huge fan of Riley. So shorts are my primary growth source. I was thinking about doing ones where like the meme, or I say meme, the template, it's the girl where she's like looking at the camera and she's like, do you know why he's not texting you right now? I was gonna do like a whole series, like a bunch of them where it's like me just doing like dumb production things. So it's like the girl goes, do you know why he's not texting you right now? And then it's me going, so this is quarter, but this is XLR, but it's XLR combo quarter, so this should work. But then how do I make like just total geekery in that? Or like you know why he's not texting you right now? And then it's me making like a remix of something I saw on a TV show and I just throw a beat on it and I'm just like, like just doing stupid musical geeky stuff. Or like, you know why he's not texting you right now? And it's me just holding up an SFP going, okay, so you can program the Bell credentials onto this, but it won't accelerate PPPoE. But why are we using PPPoE? And it's like me just going on a tangent. I was debating making like comedic shorts like that, but based on the niche of my channel. Another thought I was gonna do was like keep that, like, I guess what are those called, stitches? So like keep those stitches going, but like every stitch would become a preview of the video that's about to get published. So that way it serves as almost a promotional vehicle. And if enough people start to understand that when they see those, it's like, oh, this is what's coming, and then try to almost treat it like a movie trailer, but like it's just like a 30 to 40 second thing where it's like you open Instagram and it's like Tech Mixer pops up and it's like, you know why he's not texting you right now? And then it's like, we'll use Elgato for example. And it's like me going, so they sent me a Stream Deck, but the Stream Deck's got fingerprints and scratch marks on what? But it's new and I paid full price, but it's just like, it's maybe not a piece of the video, but it's definitely covering the topic. And then like 3 or 4 days later, that video comes out. Kind of an idea I was toying with. Nothing I've given a lot of thought to, if I'm being honest, but like, I find I hear a lot of stuff about shorts being like, sometimes it can bury a channel. Sometimes it's like great for a channel. Why are things getting held for review? What is happening? These are regular viewers. Come on, YouTube, figure it out. You just need a niche that people are interested in. Your bell bypass is what drew me in. You shouldn't have a problem getting people to enjoy your style. It's just the algorithm. Yeah, and that's kind of what I've been thinking. Right now, like, I think the problem is like with niches. If you lose interest in your niche, you're effed. So, not to say I lost interest in Bell, because I'm spoiled. I have 8 gig, and I put in the cloud gateway fiber and it works. In fact, that's what we're streaming with right now, and I'm able to do all my tests. But like right now I'm into like, I always kind of go back to this production thing. And I think it's because like I see other creators who cover production and I'm like, why are you lying to your audience? And I see it a lot and I hate it. But I'll give you an example. Like I've been obsessed with this idea of making my studio audio sound better. Right now, Euronation and Duke, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there's a little bit of a change on the channel this week. We got a felt mat right here. And by the way, to give you the reason, and Simulator, I'll explain this to you as well. The reason I got the felt mat is because it's not, like, you hear I'm knocking on it, it's not reverberant. Whereas, like, the table underneath, can I show this? Yeah, the table underneath is very reverberant, right? So if I yell into it, it's not super bad. But then I've got this like overexposed. I'm having a hard time with this. Anyway, this is my side camera, which I set up for the stream. My autofocus is Lumix, you're killing me. But I have this blanket, which is, I highly don't recommend setting it up like this. But this blanket right here is to get rid of the reflections off the wall. Right? So, let's see. And Simulator says, yeah, I have a felt notice board that helps a tiny bit. In this space, this is helping a lot. As soon as I put this down, I almost felt like, because it's a large surface area right here, I noticed immediately. I was like, oh, this kind of feels like a vacuum kind of thing. Have you considered doing streams with another creator? I have. I don't want to use StreamYard, if that makes sense. That's what like the way to do it is, because like let me be a diva for a second. I'm shooting in 6K. I'm using an MKH50. For some reason, all of these collaboration streams, like the quality goes to dog shit. That's the best way I could put it. I would love to have it where like, if I was streaming with somebody who was on a high-speed connection, I could send them an RTMP link, you know, and then if they were streaming, I could RTMP to them, and if I'm streaming, they could RTMP to me, and then that way I could put that into OBS as a scene. I could build the split screen stuff and all that stuff, and then the quality would be great. There would be no recompression, because like to do a stream with another creator, it's going to compress a stream and then send it to whoever the host is. And then they're going to recompress it again for YouTube. And like, it was already like a mission to get the quality to where I got it to a 1080 with the TechMixer live streams. I just used Riverside and worked great. But isn't Riverside more for interviews? Because I thought the whole point of Riverside was like, if say I was interviewing you, Duke, and then your internet was cutting in and out, after the interview was over, it would send me the high quality file from your desktop because it recorded it locally. I don't think, again, that was my understanding of Riverside. If it's changed ever since, then cool. There is something else. Are any of you guys hearing a buzz? Actually, wait, that's a bad question. One moment. Because my air conditioner's running. And why is YouTube trying to play on my phone? Hang on. I'm going to turn off my AC. Bear with me one moment. Okay, so eventually that will trigger the AC to turn off. Yeah, if I kill the AC, I want to see if you're hearing a background hum or a hiss or anything like that. I can only barely hear a background hum, not a buzz. Okay, yeah, so that's probably the AC, which I think is turning off now. It takes a little bit. That's how it works if you want the recording, but you can stream directly to YouTube. And it's gone. Yeah, so it was the AC. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so, okay, now that that's gone, how does it... I should really just check. Because I'm using Isotope still, but it's only the noise removal. And in my checking, I had to turn my headphones up near full to hear it. Okay, I just want to check something. One moment. I hear nothing. Perfect. What was it? Michael Scott from The Office, Duke? I see nothing. Okay, let me check something here. I just want to check. 1 2 1 2. Okay. If I were to go to my filters, so isotope is on right now. If I turn it off, you're going to hear a hiss. So let me re-enable that. Okay. You should hear, oh, that's the delay. Okay, yeah. The delay's throwing me off. You should hear a little bit of a hiss now. Right, because I just turned off the noise isolation. Right, but like if I turn it back on, I notice making perfection a lot on PC, but when I watch videos back on mobile, it's going. Well, that's, yeah, I don't know what you mean by 34 and 56, by the way. Those things only matter if you are both sensitive to audio and have good enough headphones. Okay, let me turn the noise isolation back on. Or sorry, the noise suppression back on. And by the way, I have the noise suppression turned like, it's not even like that aggressive. It's like maybe minus 5, 10 decibels. One sec. Okay, there we go. OBS's weird new layout. 12:12. You said 12:12. I'm not even sure when I said 12:12. Duke, elaborate. I'm a little slow. I'm a little tired. If I'm being honest. 12:12. I don't remember what I said in context to 12:12. Although, there you go. Well, if you put, you said Jesus, you said 1 2 1 2. Yeah, well, try putting dashes between it instead of writing 12, Duke. Here's my monstrosity of a setup that I'm convinced that I'm going to vlog with. Look at this nonsense. Are you guys seeing this? So obviously this cable that's coming out the back, that is gonna go into the that's not gonna come out of the back. That's just for the stream. I just want to fix my exposure because this is driving me crazy. I'm gonna go native ISO and what is going on with my autofocus? This thing is tripping today. Oh, it moved. That's why. Well, that's not helpful. Come on, Lumix, you can be better than that. Okay. Let's put this back. It's like a DIY Osmo Pocket. All that setup needs the MacBook Neo, you know? And the funny thing is the MacBook Neo could probably handle it just fine. But yeah, this is my second S5 II. Here, let's go full. Could you imagine having this and then, oh look, it's an MKH 416 on a shock mount. And you mount that up here and then you take these quarters and you throw the Tascam on the side here and then you've got like full out Casey Neistat levels of nonsense. But like, look at this. Yeah. Yeah. Heavy as hell, but whatever. I gotta lose some weight anyway, so, and the weather's nice, so, you know, let's make the magic happen. And then I can just split the legs, put you back over here, drop something behind the table. We'll just pretend that didn't happen, and okay, everything's still alive. Autofocus working yet? Okay, I think that's better. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Sick. Yeah. I don't know. I like to tinker. I like to have fun. Get this out of the way here. I'm not even sure if the battery is going to die. The only advantage to this setup is like, you know, at least because the camera's not recording, because the monitor is going to be recording in ProRes RAW. And then I can like figure out my skin tones and then learn the numbers that way, because every time I hear people talk about white balance, I get confused. Hey, it's Jason Rowe. What up, sir? I was going to text you. Welcome back. Audio should sound a lot better. I don't have a de-reverb plugin because check out what your boy did. Look, we got a side camera now. There's my overhead. There's my mic. Got a sound blanket up. And as I was saying earlier, we got felt on the table now. Because felt... Whoop, nearly dropped my coffee. That would have sucked. Yeah, felt is a lot better than wood in terms of reflection. So those were the main changes. And I just turned off the de-reverb plugin. I still got a noise plugin enabled because there was a hiss. There is still like a subtle hiss. But I think part of it is the Shogun monitor that's running. Oh, I'm going to bring it here again, aren't I? This monstrosity. There's a fan here. If you guys can hear that. I don't know if the plugin's picking that up. And I've also got a computer in the room. And I've got 2 of those NIC Giga switches from the bypass video that are running in 2 different rooms where I really keep forgetting to close the door when I start the stream, which would probably like make things better. Yeah. Jason Rowe made the chat. Love to see it. Yeah, I got this like heavy ass rig and I think I'm going to vlog with it because I'm ridiculous. Oh yeah. And then for the whole thing on top of that is going to go this small rig top handle for the cage. The mic is, well, this piece is going to take the mic and the top handle and the stuff. So this is going to be hilarious. And then we've got some 3-foot XLR cables and some studs to mount the recorder. And I'm going to walk down the street and pump iron, lifting my selfie rig that's capable of shooting like Netflix documentaries. Sure, whatever. I tried to vlog before. I did one video where I was like, I need some help. And I was carrying around like a Sigma 14-24. That lens is like this. And the ND is on the back of the lens. So it's just annoying. It was just the most annoying thing. Now I've got this 18mm on this camera. And I can throw an ND filter on it. And yeah, change my exposure by turning. And CPL and, or sorry, that's CPL when you turn. You do this one, it's ND. So that's fun. Yeah. So I've got a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I'm going to vlog about, but it'll probably be tech related. Maybe that's what I'll do is I'll do like tech news while I walk or something as per Duke's idea. You know, 1212 or whatever the hell I was saying. So Jason, Duke, Simulator, Euronation, if you're still in here. How's your Sundays going? What's happening? What's new? What's exciting? I was gonna ask, should I just get Claude? Is that something I should invest in? Because I've already got Gemini and I've got OpenAI. So like a part of me starting to wonder if I should just like go for broke and just get Claude and start messing with that. Sorry, I'm trying to find something. Why isn't my hard drive showing up here in my sidebar? There we go. I wonder, can I bring... I changed the name of my app that I built because I renamed it Tech Mixer Toolbox. And in that, it does a couple of things now, which is pretty cool. Sorry, just give me one sec here. Okay. Is it going to load? Hey, it does. Okay. So I changed my app for anybody who cares about what I was doing. Let's see. It's all good. My parents finally bought a new MacBook Pro, but it's a new one from 2025 stock. I thought they were looking at an Air. I thought that's what you guys were looking at. You know, I'm I almost bought a refurb something recently. I'm not going to get into what that was. That was a whole story. But that was an idea that I was going to pick up a refurb something because refurbs are dope. But hey, if they got what they wanted and they like it and they're satisfied with it and they don't have any reservations about it, they decided it wasn't for them. I'm assuming you mean the MacBook Air. I think they want a more traditional laptop. Yeah. And they had that MacBook Pro already. Maybe they were just used to it. It's tried and true, and obviously get something newer. That makes sense. So yeah, I may have added some stuff to Tech Mixer Toolbox, which is what I named the app. I have to build something that's gonna keep my dock. Yeah, so I got the marker conversion, which we were working with the last time, which is like when I hit the pedal. Like if I hit the pedal right now, it'll mark a point on the Tascam. I just realized the chat's taking up the space, so we'll do that again. So if I hit the button, it should mark a point. There we go. Right, and I can do my marker conversion. But then I made this thing called JamSync Remux. So basically, this is in an effort to save money. Hang on, let me see. Yard work. They shipped the SFP without the heat shield. Double NAT IP conflicts. Great Sunday. Wait a minute, there's no heatsink on yours? Okay, well, so for those watching, I know why Jason Rowe's getting double NATs, because he's got like 7,000 different routers attached to his cloud gateway. He should really be doing all, like, just get all Unify. Like, get rid of, because he has like a Deco, like the Bell goes to the Bell modem goes to the, my God, why can't I think? The Bell modem goes to the Unify Cloud Gateway Fiber. Cloud Gateway Fiber goes to the Deco. But then he's got like U7 Pro, I think. And just a bunch of stuff. But like, the problem is there's things conflicting in that chain. That's why you're getting double NAT in certain places. I would just sell the Deco. The Deco is a good device, but like, if you're going to be doing the bypassing and stuff, just use Unify. But for like the average household, the Deco is like overkill. I think the Deco is pretty solid for what it is. So that's Jay's Sunday. Duke, what are you doing? Euro Nation, what are you doing? What are you guys doing this Sunday? I'm just kind of curious. What was I gonna say? Jason Rowe laughs. Yeah, he did you turn off auto updates? Here's a fun fact about all software. Turn off auto updates, for the love of God. Things break like you have no idea. Last Sunday, Jay was like, yeah, I have to watch from the car because my 3 gig went down to like 25 megabit. Because Unify did some update, which set his speed back to the Stone Ages for some reason. His workaround, which he did, was just change his speed profile to say he's supposed to be getting like 3 gigabit both ways, and it worked. But you shouldn't have had to do that. Like, why a software update would cause that is beyond me. But like, there are pages of problems from people who got forced into the update because they auto updated, or they just opted to update and it screwed up everything. Like, I like to wait. I'm not running the latest Unify. I think I'm 1 version back, maybe 2 versions back if they release the fix. I don't know, but my ish is working. So unless I'm like dreaming this whole thing and I haven't had internet for like a week. Let's see here. Yeah, if I run my speed test, 0 millisecond ping. Yeah, this is because I just refuse to update it. If I don't have to update it, unless there's some major security thing, I ain't updating. So that's me pouring salt in Jay's wounds. That's what we do here on the Sunday Tech Mixer live stream. Yeah, I don't know if Duke is still here. I was curious what try the DMZ and it cuts you to 1.5 gig. It shouldn't. DMZ shouldn't have any difference. Leave it on PPPoE. But like, you can't even do DMZ with the stick. The stick is just PPPoE. So I think you need to unplug the Deco, configure the stick, and make sure the stick's working properly first. Unfortunately, there are other people that are connected to that deco, so I don't think it's the best idea right now. I mean, you could get like the E7, add that as another access point for the upper part of the house, and then just make all the same SSIDs, login and password, and then everybody will have internet, and you can just pull the deco out and sell it. I need to light a fire. I mean, I'm not telling you to commit insurance fraud. That's that could be a J special. I'm not telling you to do that or not to do that. Yeah. Oh man. I picked like you know what, I didn't consider the summer, because the weather is always like at its best at like 3 o'clock on a Sunday in like the spring/summer, and I only take one day off. Part of me is thinking only like right now I've been thinking like I should move the stream to Saturdays instead, but I feel like Sundays is a good day. I don't know, maybe I'll make it earlier. Maybe Hassan will jump in, because what time is it in Australia right now? Hassan always comes in like So wait, I gotta wait for the SFP, then I'm good. But I thought you said you got the SFP. Hang on, did I misread that? They shipped me the SFP without the heat shield. Okay, your IP conflict is because you got two gateways on the same network. So that can be solved, I think. So wait, like, was it a defective SFP? I don't understand what you mean by the... And also, did you order the SFP with the firmware pre-flashed on it? Because that's always a good idea. It's not hard to flash. It's just easier if you get it pre-flashed with the 8.3.11 firmware. Yeah, so looking at the clock here, it's 5:54 a.m. in Australia, which means Hassan is probably just waking up. Yeah. He's good people. It'd be nice to see him on stream. I realize he doesn't answer his Instagrams. Shipped the wrong one. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. And that's not really a fault of the store. Well, sorry, no, that's not a fault of the links or the community. That's just the store making mistakes. But everybody makes mistakes. It just sucks that you have to be the bearer of you have to be on the wrong end of their mistakes. Not great. Yeah, so I'm on a quest. If you saw the title and thumbnail of this live stream, I'm definitely on a quest to try to get my audio as close to the Curtis Judd, absolute grandmaster of dialogue audio, that I possibly can. I'd love to eliminate this noise remover plugin, because I think without the noise reduction, if I didn't have the noise, I feel like it'd be perfect, right? So again, I'm just gonna turn it off, and you'll hear a little bit of background hiss. And if you turn it back on, it's gone. I could probably EQ my voice a bit, like to like make it sound more favorable. I also know that Curtis Judd was actually live streaming while I was going live, so there's no chance he's gonna jump into this stream, which it would be nice. But I mean, like, I don't know. I gotta learn how to tough it out and do my own EQ settings. So there's that. Yeah. Let me just see something here. What happened? We're still live, right? Yeah, we are. Okay. By the way, when I talk this quiet, you guys can still hear me, right? Like, it's not, it should be, the compressor and everything should be doing its job and making sure that everything just kind of comes through. My limiter should be really doing that heavy lifting. Let me know if you can't hear me or if you can hear me. I feel like everything is working. Let's see here. 1 2 1 2. There we go. Okay. That's the one too I was saying. I just realized, Duke. Yeah. Those are my EQ settings. All right, and yeah, my limiter is doing exactly what it needs to do. Perfect. Yeah. So I don't know. I just want to get my audio right. I am going to have to rewire this microphone back up to the top, this Sennheiser 416 business, which good microphone is just better suited for outdoor dialogue. So I'm going to definitely use this for walking around with my super rig. Yeah. I don't know what else to talk about. I have no idea. It's been one of those Sundays. I feel like a lot of people, with it basically being the end of May, a lot of people just aren't around, or they don't want to be sitting inside. Or if they are watching this remotely, they're doing just that. They're watching it remotely. They're not watching it in a house or like in a residence anywhere. Like they're outside enjoying life. So a part of me is thinking like, put this whole business together. You know what? That's what we'll do. Hang on. So let's get one last look at my side view. Besides the Tim Hortons cup, the monstrosity, I highly don't recommend hanging a blanket like this because this is super jank. But there's our sound blanket, right? And then on the overhead camera, we've got our mat, right? So I've got open space to the front of me. It's the end of half term here, so everybody's getting ready for work tomorrow. Oh, that's fair. That makes sense. But you know what we're going to do? Maybe I'll do this and jump off to enjoy some of the weather, but I'm going to do something on stream here. Hang on. I'm going to turn off this camera. And we're just going to we're going to build this thing here. Because why not? Just going to unplug. To make matters even funnier, like this setup looks cool and everything. Where it gets complicated... I've got mains power going. Should turn this off first. I love how long Atomos. Is it me? I don't know if anybody else has messed with Atomos, but their interface is just garbage. I want to like this company so much. They do something so well, and other things are just like a hot disaster. All right. So we got this whole setup here, and I'm not going to put the task cam on the side. I'll do that off stream, because if I try to do it on stream, we might lose audio, and that would be super mega annoying. I do have my jerry rig everything knife, so I am going to keep an eye on chat. I'm just going to talk to myself in the meantime. I know Simulator jumped in with whatever, but yeah, we're going to just try not to cut myself open on stream and just unbox this randomness. I also really don't want to damage the mat, so I just got the mat. I'd prefer the mat not get damaged. Yeah. Good times. Come on, Blade. There you go. All right, so let's open this. I don't know how Small Rig, they undercut everybody with this stuff, but they make good stuff. Like their cages, their plates, their like all their stuff. Seems pretty good. I feel like there's Allen wrenches. Yep, there's an Allen wrench in here. And then let's get that off screen. What we need is in here, which is our little camera plate slash quarter 20 hole. Yeah, it's threaded inside. I don't know if you could see that. And then this top piece. What I'm going to use this for is to chuck this mic with the shock mount on the top of the monitor, because I'm going to use the Allen wrench. Okay, can I move this in the shot? Okay, so a couple things. One, there's a fly in here. That's annoying. So on the top here, right here, we've got a little Allen hole. I can wrench that down to secure this. But up here, look, we got RE pins at the top of the monitor, which I will eventually be able to focus. There we go. So basically, this piece, the RE from this, should eventually thread into the top. Okay. First thing I want to do before I even do that is grab our Allen key. Probably some history behind why it's called an Allen key. Oops, get this out of the way. All right, so it's going to move this antenna. I'm going to assume that this Allen wrench fits in here. Oh, this one doesn't fit. Nope, I do have one that does, though. At least I thought I did. Uh-oh. We'll keep this one off to the side for a moment. So the whole premise of what we're doing here is basically saying to ourselves, let's not break the gear when we take it on the road. Okay, this one used to fit. There we go. All right, that ain't moving. That's as far as that's going to go. Try it one more time. Nope, the bottom's moving before anything. That's okay. The bottom's just the ball head, which that's not going to come loose. I'm more worried about this whole assembly coming loose. All right. Cool. Now this one, that is so weird. It's like the Allen wrench they gave me is not thick enough. The Allen wrench that came with the new... I was just saying how small rig is amazing. This is the one I just pulled out of my drawer and it fits properly. Alright, whatever. It's fine. How am I going to do this? Right. Hang on. It's supposed to go into here. I'm smart. Right, so this top handle actually goes in first. So I'd lift it by the top handle. Oh, man. This is getting ridiculous already. Bring this in a bit. So yeah, this top handle piece that we are working with is basically going to sit on top. I'm going to wrench it down and hope to God that this whole thing holds together. I'm just asking for my gear to fall apart. Somebody clip this because... yeah. Yep, and this other small one at the bottom is coming loose. Which can't... I don't know if I can show this. There's a little lip under here. Yeah, there's another thing to turn here, which I'm just going to try to jam my Allen wrench into and pull it. For those who weren't aware, I am far from handy. Oh, I can see the bottom of the comment. I have a feeling oh no, it was Simulator. I thought it was Duke. While often used generically, the Allen name is a registered trademark circa 1910 of the Allen Manufacturing Company. I need like that I need that like the more you know rainbow to pop up right now. Because like I'm sure you Googled that. I have nothing against that. Alright, so I gotta pull it towards me. You know, the smarter version of me would probably put his lens cap on. Why isn't this fitting? All right, we'll try this one. Okay, you're turning. There we go. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. See, I don't like that the bottom is turning. Why is the bottom turning? That's not supposed to turn. I got a problem. Why is that turning? Okay, I'm not losing my mind, right? That's not supposed to turn. They gave you 2 Allen wrenches. 2 different sizes. No rhyme or reason why they are 2 different sizes, but here we are. Yeah, that can't go anymore. Okay. But why is that turning? I don't like that that's turning. I don't... Can I show you guys? So, this isn't turning. This part isn't turning. This whole body piece is turning. Is it supposed to? Maybe it's supposed to, so you can, like... No, because if I loosen this one, it swivels. I guess it's supposed to swivel? I don't think that's supposed to turn. Let me pull this. Hold on. I need to know if this is supposed to turn. Going to check the Amazon listing for it because I'm pretty sure they'll list it as a feature. I bought it a while ago, this piece that's right here. Oh, lordy lord. So to answer how my Sunday is going, it's been interesting, to say the least. Yeah, I bought this back in 2024. Small rig, adjustable. Oh. Okay, so it can. According to this, apparently, it can turn 360. All right, the more you know. This is like the Allen wrench thing all over again. All right, so the next thing up, I should have really done this part first. Well, we're this far. Whatever. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so this top, sure there's no other chats coming in. All right, so this top piece, there's Allen holes, which you can kind of, yeah, you can see one right here. Yep, that Allen key is too big, so. Okay, I've got that as tight as that's getting. This is the most dangerously stupid thing ever. I don't know if I should even be attempting this, but hey. This gear is supposed to be used in the field. Yeah, that ain't moving. That's cool. Just the whole top moves, but that's because this thing is this part is allegedly 360 movable, which I guess is kind of cool. Yeah, I could lock that down, but yeah. Well, at least it's adjustable. Okay. I'm a cinematographer now. I'm also an idiot. Okay. Then we've got no. I need a thread adapter because what I need to do is this needs to somehow get into this. Luckily, I have a spare thread adapter which I conveniently put right there. Okay. And I think I have Mr. LTT screwdriver with a flathead. I'm not going to go overhead for this part, because this bit is too small. I think I have a larger one. Nope, but I got car keys, and car keys will work. I know this because I've already done this with a car key before. Keep you all just in case. Yep, car key. Come on. Oh, you're like in there. There you go. Awesome. All right, let's get this thing out. All right, we'll switch over. By the way, I am still looking at the chat. For those who think I'm not, I am. I am still here. So we'll chuck you on here, like so. And this will thread into here. Eventually. I feel like I'm going to have to consult my friend Alan when I put this, because the problem is that this is going to mount to the top of the handle. And right now, I feel like the handle, that's strong enough. Cinematic turns. Sweet deal. All right, or was I here? No, wait, I was going overhead. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to jump off stream after this because yeah, I'm probably going to go enjoy the weather and maybe do some vlogging. Maybe I'll make my tech news thing, like when the weather's nice, I'll just like go and spit news facts. This is not threading properly. Why aren't you threading? Why aren't you threading? I have another one of these in here. Is this adapter broken? See, this is the thing they don't tell you about content creation. Especially like when you're doing like stuff where you're going out into the world. They don't tell you about these fun little side quests you have to take half the time. Okay, wait. Wait, start over. Pull this out. It adapts like this. So this has to go in here. Maybe this is something I got to do off camera, because I am not figuring this out. Yeah, it goes in like this. I'm very aware that this isn't the glitz and glamorous YouTuber discussions and content creation discussions that everybody talks about, but this is the reality of being a content creator. In some spaces anyways, having to do stuff like this, where you sit here and toil with adapters and ends of screwdrivers that are not thick enough. I think you're doing these kind of news videos with less demanding editing shorts, to be honest. Yeah, like I'm thinking, like, to be honest, like my little new take, save take workflow, I could probably just like while I'm walking, just hit the mark button with the app Like I just keep the phone in my other hand and then just mark my takes. So kind of the line of thinking that I'm on. Did that finally thread? Wow. I suck. Okay. Let's try this again. All right, so now that threaded, this is just a matter of getting this on nice and tight and preferably straight. Well, we don't have to like super clamp this part. We just, as long as it's like, yeah, that's good. I can adjust. Okay. Now I can't use the overhead because I'm out of space. Like for context, this is me almost touching the lens. This is my thumb. And if I switch, yeah, like that's my clearance. So I have to do this part away from the overhead camera. But that's okay because all this is doing is this is going here. Ish. Hope I gave myself some space. There we go. This is the most overkill. Look at this nonsense. Look at this. Oh. There goes my mic position. Yeah, tell me this is not the most overkill vlog-esque setup you've ever seen. Let me just disconnect this cable here because it was charging the camera. But I feel like the camera is now fully charged. Let me just double check that. You can record your stuff monologue while outside and then put stuff on screen sometimes. It's more interesting than being in a studio. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Is like it would be sorry, this is awkward. Yeah, it's kind of the idea, right? The idea would be ultimately be like, yes, I know. No, you said the battery's still low. Luckily, I charged another battery. Yeah, well, that's the idea. So simulator, that was kind of what I was thinking along those lines. Is like, why is the chat freaking out? There we go. I was thinking about that. Like, I would do stuff where I'm walking down the street and then, like, you know, I would just overlay like a bunch of clips, like to, you know, that reflected with the news I was covering. But again, like, I don't know if that's the thing I want to commit to because, like, outside of my editing gig, it is still a lot. I feel like I'd have to shoot those takes and send to an editor, but like, I don't want other people editing my stuff. I don't like that. All right, let's see. How's the battery on this one? Okay, there we go. Full battery on that one. So we will put this one to charge up. I love these small rig batteries because I was just talking about small rig and how much I like them. I like them because we've got, obviously, our camera side, but we've also got USB-C on the top if that's in focus, which it probably isn't. Might be better now. USB-C. And if I plug in this cable, let there be light. That happens to be red. Cool. All right, that will be off to the side charging. Tascam takes 3 rechargeable AA batteries. The nickel metal hydride, I believe, is the type, and those are they give you ridiculous battery life. All right, the mic is okay if it's a little loose, but my biggest concern is the handle, that the handle is gonna hold, like this part here. That's my biggest concern, because the last thing I want is that giving way and then the whole rig comes apart. And you know what? We should clamp the mic down a bit because it's not a cheap mic. The 416 is a fairly expensive microphone. I really hope this point that rotates doesn't come loose, because that would, in a word, be complete, or that's more than one word. In a few words, would be complete ass. Okay. Because we're not trying to break a over $1,000 microphone in the name of content. But yeah, I could hold it like this and be like a full filmmaker. But like, imagine seeing my ass walking down the street talking about, on today's episode of whatever the hell I'm going to call this news show, something, 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 something. And then I still have to account for, oh, there's two things I need to account for. The battery, which is going to make this even heavier, which I actually have right here. So the battery is this Sony MPF style. Whoops. Oh, that feature came in handy, although it's not really doing anything now. There we go. Cooperate. Okay, whatever. Small rig, rechargeable. Also shows the current battery level, which says 99. I'm not sure how well that's coming out on camera, but that will slot hard to line up notches from that angle. And then we chuck a hard, well, we already have a hard drive in. Oh, that made that heavier. Oh God. Send help. Send help. That's not bad. Yeah. Just gotta adjust a couple of small things. But yeah. Then the recorder has to go on, but the recorder weighs like next to nothing. So that's kind of cool. What do you guys think? How much would you laugh at me if you saw me walking down the street trying to pump iron with my S5 II business here, which is not straight, and that's going to drive me crazy. Okay, I think that's close-ish. So, like, for these rubber ends that are on this newer ball head, like these things, I'm wondering, should I, like, wrench tighten these? Because I got these rubber pieces, but they're not, like, great. They slide. Interesting. Okay, we got that. We got that. We need our ND, which will eventually slide on. Yeah, I might go vlogging. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. See, that's the thing, is like, do I cover news? Do I just vlog for the sake of vlogging? Should I just do some shorts? What do you guys want to see in terms of my vlog content? I'm also hilariously also shooting in Vlog with Panasonic, so I'm vlogging in vlog. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. And then we've got our XLR cables. This will go into the mic. This will go into the recorder. I don't know. What do you guys want to see? Let me know. I might jump off though, because yeah, this was we were starting to run low on chat earlier, and then obviously as the setup evolved, we ran way out of chat. So it is what it is. I'm not mad about it. I'm still gonna stream. Maybe I'll attempt to stream using maybe I'll attempt to stream using a mic holder that doesn't keep shifting. But no, maybe I'll do an IRL away from the studio if I can get the tether to make sense. What do you guys think? Would you be interested to see that? These cables are pretty dope. What brand? These are Cable Matters. Cable Matters. Okay. Cool. Warning to the people selling the multiple pack. Do not separate. Shorts would be great. Okay. Just try to figure out what to cover in shorts. Like maybe like tech topics. Okay, so can I show this without breaking the stream? Maybe. Well, let me. Oh, yeah, maybe so. If I lose audio, I apologize. But basically, the bottom here is a quarter 20, right? I got 3 AA batteries under here. And then obviously I've got 2 mic inputs. And I've got time code running, which is extremely important for what we're trying to pull off. But what I want to do, let's clean up. These Allen wrenches, I'm actually going to put them in here because I'm probably going to need them again. And we'll just throw them in this easily accessible drawer. My extra cable drawer will get these XLRs. We'll chuck you in there. This will get recycled. And this is what we're going to use next. Because in its simplest form, all these are literally just a pair of these. And all they're going to do is they're going to screw to this side of the cage. Yeah. They'll go here, and then the other side will go into our quarter 20. And that's how we're going to bring the Tascam with us. And then we will give it our audio. And maybe I'll find a way to clean up this wiring. But I mean, it's not bad. Can I reconnect this for our stream? Maybe, possibly? Just making sure that we're actually seeing what the hell I'm doing. Fan is on. And the LUT is not applied. I like it. You can send it flat. So this is what the vlog looks like coming out of the camera, right? But if I want to see how I'm going to look in Rec 709 to my capture card, I just hit this and there we go. That's how we look. I just realized the ND's looking proper now. That is so funny. What am I shooting at? Oh, it set it to ISO automatic. I don't want that. I want ISO 640 for when I'm outside, but when I'm in the studio like this, I will leave you at ISO 4000. And then just turn our ND like that. And you notice I got a patch on the top of my head. We'll use our CPL filter to reduce the glare. And use our ND to adjust the brightness. There. I look relatively natural right now. Maybe just not framed correctly, but that's okay. And then I just got to practice in terms of holding it, setting my angle, trying to figure out what's what. But I think she's working. And that's pretty sick. And then I could always plug in, well, I don't want to do this while the recorder's on. Fun fact, if you have phantom power mics, don't hot plug them while phantom power is engaged. Because that is not a good look. Okay, I'm just going to set this up for outside and turn off the camera. Okay, so 640, that's my base ISO. Camera off. Cool. I think I'm going to end the stream in a second. I do want to go do some walking. Walking and talking. So you're thinking do some shorts. That's what Simulator is saying. So I might very well take you up on that. Start doing some short content. Only because it seems like this would make a lot of sense. Yeah, the recorder's like nothing. But this feels stable. Yeah, that's just the top monitor friction going. But that's kind of cool because like if so, okay, see if I can show this. So if I got it like this, that's cool. But if I wanted to film something I've seen and I want to narrate it, I would just take my monitor and turn it. And not only can I film what I'm seeing, but I can narrate it with this mic that's on the shock mount. Maybe this mic will just live on this handle in perpetuity. And then that way, when I go, I just have to make sure the monitor's mounted. As a matter of fact, maybe even the monitor can live on this. I could figure this out. I could make this work. Yeah, I just gotta bring, I'm gonna bring those Allen keys with me. Because I know that, like, as you start walking. Yeah, I wish it was nicer around here for walking and vlogging. So in Ontario, Canada, where I live, we had probably the worst winter we've had in over 30 years. Especially in the township I live in. I was kind of mocking my friends because the town I live in is kind of known for, you know, inclement, crazy weather. Sorry, I'm just going to try to lock these down while I'm talking. Yeah, it's known for like some crazy weather, but we didn't get it so bad. Oh, these things can be locked down more. These are just rubber bands that are like literally form-fitted. So they're going to be a pain to put back on. To be honest, I might not even put them on as I put one on. Yeah, we had some terrible, terrible winter activity in my region. So I don't care how out of shape I am. I just want to be out of the house. So I don't know. Maybe I'll, can I live stream to my iPad? Tornado wins on Friday. Oh, Lord. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. Thanks, Buzzkill. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. We get all sorts here. We get all sorts of like terrible weather here. But when it's nice, it's like get out while you can, because the problem is our trash weather basically begins at the end of September into October. And then like last year we got like crazy snow in December, which is like not normal for us. Normally our crazy snow is like January, February, well, end of December into January, but early December we got hit and it sucked. It was not great. So now that we're going into June, we have very limited time to take advantage of great weather. And being a computer guy who sits at a desk all day, if not at home in a Starbucks somewhere, really want to take advantage of the somewhat decent weather. So I think I'm going to do that. You know, maybe I'll film a vlog, but guys, give me a topic before I go. Give me a topic. Give me something to talk about in this vlog. I should check how much, I think I have enough space left to do this. This is the exact reasons for wanting to curb my content creation time a bit. Yeah, it's, don't get me wrong. It's super rewarding to make content. I'm not going to take that away. Okay, I've got 58 minutes worth of record time. Cool. And I've got a full Shogun battery and a full Lumix battery. And to play it safe, I'm going to grab 3 more rechargeables out of my, if you can see it, this little Amazon recharger. I got some On Loop Pros from Panasonic. Take 3 of these for the recorder. And I'll bring, you know what, just to really play it safe, let's do this. Let's break the stream. Yay! If I break the stream, I apologize, although I can see the VU meters right here. Yeah. We are just going to put these back in the charger, because I'm super paranoid about things like battery acid. Like, I've seen things just randomly leak because, you know, plus it doesn't help that the these batteries have like a strange coating as it is that feels super smooth, which gives me like battery acid PTSD from finding old electronics, like old remotes, which also felt suspiciously smooth, and then found out, oh, that's battery acid. So not wonderful. What are your thoughts on the tech news so far this year, since you're nearly halfway through 2026, or what you're expecting for the second half of the year? That's tough because everything's dominated by AI, which is annoying. So there's that. I'm gonna put this over here. I'm talking. I'm just gonna set up my battery charger here. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I feel like everybody's resorting to this AI thing. I think what do I mean as a topic for your shorts? That's the thing. I don't know, like, it's a good topic. It's a very good topic. The problem that I foresee is that I'm going to gap. Maybe it's going to be like, is the creator economy doomed because of AI? Maybe that's a topic. I'll write some stuff down and try to think of something. I've been saying lately that Final Cut Pro has been experiencing a renaissance because of AI. Like, I bought an app recently. For those who use Final Cut, they'll understand the pain. Let me pull it up here. There's an app I bought from a creator who I hope doesn't abandon this because it is pretty sick what they did. Can't type from this distance. Really can't type from this distance. There we go. Okay, so if I switch to desktop, AI motion tracking, no YouTube ads because I'm not signed in. I added a keyframe using the Final Cut, and you're gonna play an ad, and I just realized my desktop audio's on. It's still playing even when I mute, so we'll do this and this. Just want to skip the ad. Oh, I'm not going to get to skip the ad. Using YouTube signed out is painful. Their plugin saved Final Cut Pro for me. That's a clickable thumbnail. Okay, so I'm going to play this video so you can see exactly what I'm referring to. Keep on the tech side and vlog software, hardware, and reviews. Well, yeah, it would be on the tech side because like this is like tech adjacent because like it's also my interest, right? Like my interest is in tech. That's why the channel is called Tech Mixer. That's why I you know, like I don't. The problem with hardware is I'm an Apple user. It's such a cop out. But like, what PCI cards am I installing, right? Like I don't know. I don't want to break apart the Hackintosh because I do use it for certain things, but I think because I'm on the Mac side, I got to focus on a lot of software like plugins, including this one. So another reason I need to go for a walk is I need energy. So I'm going to unmute this. I'll mute my mic so it doesn't like echo out for you guys. But basically, keyframing in Final Cut is a problem. There's no mystery behind that. So this person used probably vibe coded. I'm going to guess it's vibe coded because conveniently none of these types of plugins have come out since the vibe coding renaissance of Final Cut has kicked in. But anyway, let me go back to it. I'm going to mute my mic and just play you a part of this video. Eventually mute. Okay, so basically what they did, and I'm going to mute the video here so that we're not hearing it and blowing out eardrums. So here's the long and short. If I go through, they built a plugin, and if you look at this, actually I don't have it installed on this profile, but so they're showing the horizon lines, and what's crazy, I know, it's pretty cringe. I realized when I hit play it, the sound effects were kind of cringe. Yeah. But you know what the thing is like you can't account for the people who he or she is marketing towards. I'm assuming it's a he based on his voice, which I didn't play on stream. Okay, so basically, so you see he basically made a compound clip out of this. And then look, he can draw the path and set a keyframe like you would typically. But what's nice about it, so yeah, like, so he draws the path. So a couple of things are happening here. First off, the easing of this is following this keyframe right here. And the second thing is it's doing motion blur. And notice if you look up here, there's no rendering on the timeline. So it does a very well calculated, I guess, ML motion blur through Apple's framework. But like you can basically do X, Y, you can do positioning, Z rotation, or Z position, and then you can have like rotation and all this stuff. Like it's crazy. And you can keyframe the curves, if that makes sense. So watch this. So he's got it here. Let's go forward. So if you just leave it on a linear path, it draws like that, right? But then you can set the curve like really aggressive and see like it basically, once it gets to this point, it flies up. You can change your curve types, and then I don't know if he shows it here because I did it with mine. Yeah, he's doing an overshoot here, so like it goes over the point because that's how he drew it. And you can basically define your own lines. You can basically custom edit your curves, which I believe they show. Set a 3D angle. Did he show how to do the highlighter? Yeah. Oh, he does show how to do the highlighter. That's cool. And you can throw curves on that. So that's pretty fun. So maybe it's like, in terms of the shorts content, maybe it's a matter of being like, hey, you know, Final Cut is going through quite the renaissance when it comes to AI and people building plugins for things that we've always wanted, like curves. But why does that matter? Well, I can do stuff like this and then like mask myself out because I'll be on like I'll be outside. I shoot at a 90-degree shutter angle with an ND filter. So I'll be able to like do the edges. There's one short I have an idea for, but it's related to WWE of all things, which is not something I watch regularly. I watch it because of a family member. And he loves it, so I watch it with him. But I'm more a fan of the behind the scenes stuff. But there's one theme I heard that I was like, oh, I have an idea for a remix. So maybe I'll put that up as a joke on the channel, and who knows. But then I think people will think that I'm like into the whole WWE lore. Like I understand the storylines, but I'm not like following. It's not a thing for me. That being said, like the bit that I watch with that family member, I feel like I could write that show and come up with some dope storylines because that would be funny to me. But I don't get attached to all the characters on the program. I just think that it's written terribly based on what I've seen. But I don't think it's meant to be written well in some cases. No disrespect to their writers. It just, feels kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go make some content outside. I'm probably going to get out of here. Thank you guys for coming in. So Duke Seb, I think you're either lurking or you're gone. Euro Nation's probably lurking or gone. Jason Rowe, probably lurking or gone. Simulator, I think you're still here. Yep. Oh, no, Jason's here. Nice. Yep, and have a good afternoon. Simulator says, Jason. Who else was in here? I think that was it. It was just you guys. My audio's still okay because the mic moved a whole bunch, and I don't know if everything broke. By the way, the reverb plugin, here, let me really show this before I get out of here. All right, so I'm going to turn off dialogue isolate, right, is what I named this. So you should hear a little bit of a hiss. However, there shouldn't be any crazy reverb, which is amazing. Yep, Jason says still good. Awesome. I'm going to turn the isolate on again. All right, so we turned it back on. So now the hiss should be gone, but again, should be the same level of reverberation because the reverb part of the isolate plugin I disabled. So I think this combination, now all I need to do is sit here and EQ my voice properly. And by the way, if you don't know what I mean by that, by EQing my voice, I'm going to show you that quick, and then I'm going to get out of here. So let's switch back to desktop, and I'm just going to minimize the strange sound effect-esque video. And I'm going to grab, because I mean, like, let's be honest, like I did the thumbnail. There's an EQ in the thumbnail, and I didn't really talk that much about sound on this stream. Whoops. Oh, by the way, here, I'll show with Isotope. So basically, yeah, the reverb is at regular. That's my noise reduction, right? Which is at what, minus 13.1 or 13.2, right? Like if I turn this off, there's the noise, the typical noise, but I had it down like, say about there. Yeah. So that's the big difference there. But what I really want to show is my EQ settings right here, which of course it tripped. There we go. Okay. If you guys can see that. So if you look at my voice here, there's a couple of things I can fix. So I've got this like subtone, and you're not hearing that. That's sub-frequency. So basically from like, say about 80 hertz-ish, maybe 77, I could cut that. I'm not even listening to what I'm doing, but like there are certain frequencies like here that normally I would see like an abundance of a ringing tone here. But because I put all of this felt down and I basically did the side blanket, I think we mitigated most of that. That is sick. So this actually looks really balanced. Maybe I don't have to cut much. Huh. Who knew? That is so funny. Huh. I wonder if I like fixed my audio with this. Although like I would probably want to mount this blanket a lot better. To be honest, I might even like slice this blanket up and then just have it protrude off the wall a few inches, because you're supposed, between like sound dampening treatment and the wall, you're supposed to have like a gap between. There's a reason for that. I should really look this up before I start experimenting again. But yeah, I think my audio sounds good. The set that's outside of this monstrosity sitting next to me. Let's just move this for a second and not drop it. There we go. Yeah. And outside of this, outside of the felt top, I feel like the set, the lighting, all that looks about the same. Like, let me know what you guys think, but I just dropped that bit, and I think it landed on my track pants, and I don't want to move because it will... There it goes. Went flying. Ugh. I think the audio sounds pretty good. It's not Curtis Judd good. Let me be abundantly clear about that, but I feel like I'm getting the right response out of my voice. I'm probably going to listen to these settings. I'm probably going to re-listen to the live stream because I do record all of them. You know what, Simulator? You're not wrong. The felt top makes the scene look less visibly interesting. I agree. That's a minor criticism. You know what the thing is? I'm not even mad at that because I agree. I was looking... I wanted to match or at least get something close to the original color. And it hurts my heart because I remember when I got this, what the hell kind of IKEA table is this, a Carlby? I got this color off Facebook Marketplace. And it was so good. It's just the problem is the amount of noise that you get from that top. But like just before I even put the blanket up, I noticed immediately. Yeah, I know my shirt. It doesn't help that my shirt's the same color. I like dark shirts. As your local neighborhood fat guy, they're allegedly slimming. Stripes and dark colors. It's a whole thing. Whatever. Yeah. I should really get some brighter shirts. It's funny because there's a gentleman who runs Brett Effects, who for Final Cut, his name is Brett. Super original naming. I'm very aware. But yesterday I was wearing the Can You Dig It shirt, and he FaceTimed me and he's like, nice shirt. I always see you in it. And I'm like, shut up. And I'm like, God damn it, he's right. Yeah, I got to go shopping for some brighter stuff. Although I wear all the jokey stuff. Well, I wear jokey sweaters around, like sweaters with like lettering, like the Flintstones and the Pokeroo and what's it called? The Elephant Man. And I have like a No Heart one from Care Bears, although I won't wear that one around because the font, if you look at it from far away, it looks like it says No Fart. Whoever made that is awful, so I don't even wear that one. I'm like, well, that was a waste of $60. That sucks. Nice to wear around the house, but you know. But no, like I do wear like plain polos, like lighter colors sometimes even. But I'm gonna have to get brighter colors to pop away from this matte. It's funny, my dad used to say when I was younger, he'd be like, why do you wear such dark colors all the time? I guess in the 90s it was a thing. I don't know. But yeah. Now I'm starting to get on the ramble train, so I think I'm gonna peace out. Thank you guys all for coming in. Jay, I might FaceTime you in a little bit. Might walk over to Tim Hortons, the local coffee shop, as it were. Get me a decaf and talk like a crazy person to a camera, which almost looks like a little robot. Yeah, and see how that works out for me. So, oh, Duke, you're still here. See you, bud. Yeah, we'll talk soon. See you soon, Simulator. Thank you so much. I will catch you guys next Sunday, 3 o'clock. I will try to find a better topic. I will think about it all week. I'm being honest. I will do my best. I'm not saying anything about completion of the video. I'm not even going to mention to what point that video is at. Just see if it comes out. My name is Sean. This has been Tech Mixer, and I'm going to awkwardly end the stream. I'm out. Peace.